Hello, my name is Drina Nicola, owner of Dwelling Spaces and Places. We provide senior move management services and interior design for aging in place, or what we like to call designing for longevity. Last year, we found one of these little ranches. So in this home, I saw the opportunity to create something like a forever home. A home where now the individual or the couple says, we're going to scale back, we're empty nesters, but we want to plan for the future to have something we can age into. I saw the possible home and I saw the upcoming need for our community, and I guess that was part of that itch. Like, I got to do this project. So let's take a look at this forever home. We're here to look at our house here in Evanston that we renovated. Originally was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, slab on grade ranch. Several of those were built around here after the Korean War as starter homes. What we chose to do was to convert it to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath and to deal with other planning issues that the house has. One of the big features that we felt was important through the house for fall prevention was to be able to have a no-step or zero threshold house. A patio space so that our residents, our future resident, can hang out, feel connected with the neighbors. This is a great neighborhood, so we wanted to make sure our future resident would have that opportunity to stay connected, to address one of the aging in place issues of social isolation. Let's talk about the entry. We really freed up the space, removing some of the structural elements here that were holding up this portico, so that again we gain more accessibility. We have the front door, which has a large window. It makes the house feel open and friendly, not like a shut-in type of perception, but it also gives the resident a good sight line to who's arriving. So they're not as fearful. When they're on the other side, in a lot of other homes you might have a peephole, but we don't need to deal with that, which also is helpful if you have vision issues. Speaking of vision, we've got some great LED light here, so at night it really illuminates the space so you can find your keys when you're trying to navigate the door. We have a lever door handle, also very important for aging in place. You know, you can use your arm or your hand or your fingers on it. The doorbell. What's nice about this doorbell, it looks very ordinary, and it's a very simple mechanism where we have back in the back bedroom, the doorbell rings back there through a duplex receptacle, so you really can address hearing issues even with simple things like the doorbell. Another feature are address numbers. Oftentimes you'll be driving along and it's hard to find the address, and you want your friends to be able to find your home. Again, social isolation issue is being addressed with this, but you also want the emergency department to find you if something happens. So large numbers, and these are also backlit numbers. One of the other features of the door is that we have the wider door, but when you have a wheelchair or walker, you need to have space to be able to approach the door and pull it open. And so we did some reconfiguration here to allow for that space to be able to approach the door and pull it open and then walk through it. And you can see our ADA threshold. Again, we do not need to meet ADA when you're in a residence, but this door has that option so that we're under a ½ inch of transition at the front. So this house seems very simple as we walk through it, but it was an entire gut job renovation. And why that was, a lot of that had to do with replanning the layout. But we also wanted to address accessibility issues. And so it was very important that our hallway become wider, the openings become wider. You can see that this is a wide opening here, but even here we allow for some turnaround space for wheelchairs. For designing for aging in place, we felt it was very important to have a second bathroom to deal with dignity issues, whether it's a child helping their parent out, grandkids visiting, maybe a future living caregiver. All right, so now we're in the kitchen. Let's start with materials. We're going to look at the flooring surface, and one of the things that's really critical, is fall prevention. So we wanted materials that didn't have a shine to them, whether it's the flooring material or the countertop material. So if you look at the wood floors, they're a matte or satin sheen, and this vinyl floor in the kitchen also has a matte sheen to it. Someone with macular degeneration, that glare and the sharp contrast that you get when you have a highly reflective surface can really create confusion about where the surface is, and that could create a trip hazard. All right, so moving along, we can take a look at this surface. Again, matte finish, but a very small texture to it, and also a very light finish. Now, why do we do that? We want to be able to see things on that surface, whether it's medication. We want to see if the surface is clean. And we also want the light color so that we're reflecting as much of the light that we have in the room. You know, a lot of people think, shiny black granite is the way to go, but that's going to be problematic, again, for all these reasons. You can't see things on it, you can't see if it's clean as well, and again, it's absorbing the light, so we go with a lighter countertop. All right, let's look at some of the cabinet details. So, starting with the hardware, we want to make sure that the pulls are wide enough for hands to get in and deep enough, and so that if you have some arthritis or some other issues, it's easy to open and close the cabinetry. Inside the cabinets, we did a lot of special detailing, full extension shelving, so you don't have to bend over as far or fall as you're trying to reach something all the way in the back. Another great corner piece of hardware is this one. It's called the Le Mans, and both shelves pull out entirely. So in lieu of a Lazy Susan, this is a great option because it gets everything out here. You can look at it and then push it back in. Let's talk about lighting. And I'm going to talk about the lighting for the entire house. So first of all the lighting is LED lighting, which allows us several things. It really, the cost has come down tremendously, but we can get a lot of adjustability. So we can dim our lights to create some ambiance. But when we need all the oomph out of those light fixtures, we can ramp it back up. So it's really important that we understand lighting in this house. Once you're a senior though, we know that you might need up to 5 times the amount of light when you're doing a task like cooking, reading, knitting. And so it's really important that we factor that into our lighting design. And that's another reason we talk about making the most out of our surface here so that we can create as much light for that area the person's working in. So one other thing we want to talk about is the range. This range has an induction surface, and with induction cooking, which is electric, it magnetizes the pot to the surface when the temperature is turned on. But when the pot is removed, it automatically starts to cool down. So why is this a good option? It's a safe option. When people have stability issues, say somebody with Parkinson's who might lean in or fall into the cooktop, it's not going to hurt them like a standard electric or gas range would. So it gives them more freedom, more safety, and they'll want to use it more. We felt it was very important that we retain the 2 bedrooms but add a second bath. And so if somebody's going to come to assist you, they'll be able to leave their room, say in the middle of the night, if you need assistance, walk across the hall and then directly into the large bathroom, which has a European shower designed to it. In this master bathroom, there's been a lot of details incorporated because we know that most falls happen in the bathroom. In fact, as a statistic, 1 out of every 3 people over 65 falls every year, and most of those falls are in a bathroom. So this is where we paid a lot of attention to details. We want small tiles, and that's because we want a lot of grout, because when the water hits that floor, it's the grout that's going to slow down the motion of your leg so you don't slip. Lighting. So we have a lot of adjustable lighting, because in the middle of the night you're going to want to have it turned down pretty low. We also want to talk about the fact that with our LED lighting, we want to pick a color temperature that's going to enhance the tone of your skin. So we go with 3000 degrees Kelvin, and that really gives people an accurate read of the skin tone. Why do we want that? One, we look better that way because it brings out all the color in our skin. But secondly, somebody who might be analyzing your health might be able to tell something about what's going on with you based on the skin tone. So we want an accurate read of the skin tone. Another thing with the lighting is that when I'm here at the sink, it's really important to have lighting on each side of your face and overhead. That combination, not one or the other, but that combination is really what makes your face look good, because you don't have shadows, and when you look good, you feel good. So that's really important. We also recessed the medicine cabinet, because we didn't, if it was just surface mounted, we would be blocking some of that light. Now, right inside where the toilet is, we have a towel bar and the toilet paper holder. These are actually also grab bars. So we have an entire series here that can support both the caregiver and the person as they're using the bathroom. So the top portion is the grab bar here and here for the toilet paper, and also there's this easy on-off for the roll with more of a lift mechanism versus those springs that a lot of people struggle with. So as part of this family of products where we have the towel bar, the toilet paper holder, that are grab bars, we have the grab bars, and this is the one we have in our shower. So we're trying to normalize the design details, which is part of a universal design principle. A few other details here. So this toilet is a comfort height. Standard height is lower. We want to make sure that we have both an elongated toilet, which is deeper, and a comfort height, which is slightly taller. People with back issues, knee issues, it's much easier to get on and off. The sink, this is a vintage pedestal sink that we found, and we decided to install it without the pedestal so that somebody in a wheelchair could roll up to it more easily. So we have steel in the wall, steel brackets that hold it up. Then we get to our shower. So let's talk a little bit about the whole European shower. So we talked about the flooring. Underneath the flooring we have a moisture barrier that covers the entire floor, and then at the shower location, which you can see because we've got some water on it to demonstrate that, there's an entire shower pan that pitches the water to the drain and keeps it as focused to this corner of the room as we can. Of course, the shower curtain helps as well. And then some other details with the shower. Putting in a recessed niche so everything's tucked away. You know, a lot of times we have shelves that we hook onto the corner of the wall. All those things kind of interfere with, you know, your elbows and your, you know, as you're showering. So having something recessed is very nice. Having the slider bar with the handheld is very helpful. If somebody is in a wheelchair, or if maybe they're even on the other side of the room and need assistance, the hose can assist with that. And obviously the height can be adjusted with the slider bar. Finishing up in this room, we've combined the laundry in here with front-loading washer and dryer. For someone who's shorter or has back issues, it's harder to get into that drum. Could be done with pedestals to elevate the machines. I like this because I can use the surface to lay out my clothes and organize them and put them away. All right, so now we're coming into the master bedroom off the hallway. We have a very large master bedroom with 2 walk-in closets. Originally, this was a large family room addition, but we took this over when we replanned the house. So remember, we don't have a basement here, so we felt it was very important to have a walk-in closet for storage for things like suitcases, that sort of thing. And they're each well lit. As we walk around the room, again, we're looking at our 0 threshold, but this flooring is a carpet tile. We chose the carpet tile for a couple different reasons. One, carpet tile, if something gets damaged, we can pull it up, we can take it over to the shower, hose it off, put it back down. It's just attached with like double stick at the corners, so it's a very great maintenance, low maintenance material to use. Also, carpet tile is very densely constructed with this cut and loop pattern that we have here. And so for a wheelchair or a walker to roll over it, it really makes a difference for the resident that's living here. So as we walk around the room, this is the wall that we put our bed against. And with that, we have these nice little spots. So getting back to our lighting design, we want to be able to have a nice focus on the bed. So if our folks are reading, they have all the light that they need. This is a big room. A lot of people here in Evanston have said how it's a big bedroom. There tends to be a lot of equipment that gets added into the master bedroom. And so going back to something like that Hoyer lift or a recliner or lift chair, we often find those types of things in a bedroom. So there's plenty of space back in this corner, let's say, for something like that. So now that you've had the chance to see this demonstration for Everhome that we designed, I just want to share that we, again, going back to our mission, want to work with you on designing your optimal environment. So sometimes that's a situation where there's an acute health need that's arisen. Somebody's coming out of the hospital or rehab, they're going home, the home doesn't work for them anymore. In those instances, there is a lot of overwhelm because what are we going to do now? How are we going to do it? How much is it going to cost? So we can come in and do a home assessment and kind of walk you through the process of what you might need. We can bring an occupational therapist even in there with us to lead you through the steps. That's a good way to make sure we've brought in all the health issues that need to be addressed. In other instances, somebody knows with a little more pre-planning that they have a health need, say Parkinson's or vision issues, and they want to plan their next environment for that. And so we have more time to go through a design process to do that renovation, that gut job, that addition where we add a master suite to the first floor. So there's a whole spectrum of the type of projects we can assist you with design to create that optimal home. Take a look at our website. You'll see some more examples of the work we've done for our clients. And give us a call if you have a need right now or you're thinking that there's going to be some future needs for your space or a friend or family's space. We'd love to work with you. Thank you for listening.